Hello, beautiful Geminis. Welcome to your June full moon reading. So it's a full moon in Capricorn, talking a lot about structures, what needs to be released when we're talking about structures, right? So the full moon is June 24th to 25th, depending where you are in the world. Today is the 23rd. So this is a timeless reading. Okay, keep in mind if you do find it at a later date and you find resonation within the reading, it was meant to find you when it was meant to find you. We are definitely not all on the same growth path by any means. So to think that every reading is always going to fit, especially collective readings like this, every reading is certainly not going to fit at the same time frame. And saying that, it is a collective reading, so not everything is going to fit within the reading. Always take what fits and leave what doesn't, right? All right, so this is for Geminis. Sun, moon, rising. Maybe you just got a lot of Gemini in your chart. Full moon in Capricorn, the strawberry moon. Full moon in Capricorn. All right, what is the overall energy for the Geminis? For the full moon in Capricorn, spirit. Overall energy for the Geminis. Wow, no way. That's crazy. Reclaim your power. The Taurus actually, I just did their reading and they got this too, which is interesting because that deck was really, really well shuffled. So I'm surprised that it came right back out. But anyway, here it is. The Panther Spirit, Gemini. Reclaim your power. So I'm going to read that one right out of the book. And that is number 44. Which is also a master number. It takes courage to face challenges, and right now Panther Spirit is here to say that you are braver than you think. Now is time to take a risk, to step into a different aspect of your being. Speak as you have never spoken before. Act as you have always dreamed you might have the courage to act. Love fearlessly and fully, and expect to feel the adrenaline rush as you are initiated into a new, braver, bolder self. Panther Spirit says the time for dreaming about what you want to do is giving way to your first courageous acts towards reclaiming your power. Sorry, let me read that sentence again because I just butchered that. Panther Spirit says the time for dreaming about what you want to do is giving way to that first courageous act towards reclaiming your panther spirit and power. Your new identity may feel strange at first, but you have what it takes and your soul wants this. Be bold. All right, Geminis, be bold. Okay, so let's get into the tarot. So we're using the Good Tarot. It's by Colette Baron-Reid. Actually, both of those decks were by Colette Baron-Reid. I very much enjoy her decks. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. Recent past energy, we have the Chariot. In current energy, we have the Seven of Cups. Immediate future, we have the Two of Wands. Interesting. What's challenging the Geminis? What is this challenging the Geminis? We have the Fool and the Tower. Wow. As well as the Seven of Swords. Reasons that the Gemini is being asked to reclaim their power. We have the Three of Cups. Holy smokes. The Messenger of Earth and the Empress. Six of Swords. Yeah, look at that. Guys, you're moving. Okay, you're moving. You're in this phase of transformation right now, especially with the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck here. Okay, the Six of Swords, when it comes out with this, especially when it comes to clarify this Panther Spirit here, Geminis, this is about, yes, there's been shifts and changes, and I do feel that you really had to step into your power already. I do feel that you already had to make some significant, especially when the recent past was the Chariot, I feel like you had to make some significant change here. You really had to take the reins of your chariot and acknowledge that there was going to be change in your life. And if there was going to be change, you were the one who had to make it happen, right? You were the one who had to steer your direction. Now, I do understand that now that you've kind of, moved a bit and started this new beginning, that in the current energy, we have the Seven of Cups, and that's kind of like the energy of like, there's a lot of options before you. And now what do you choose? Right? You got the ball moving, you claim some power, right? You're in this transformation energy, especially with this Six of Swords, right? There's movement. Waters might be rough at times, but there is movement. And now it's like, okay, well, what do I want? You see? And in the immediate future, we have the Two of Wands, which is the change, which is, again, more movement, but a change in direction here. All right, let's clarify this Chariot here. In recent past energy. Knight of Swords. Yeah, look at that. And I love the depiction on this card, because I love how you can see the crow up here, which is spirit in this deck. They oftentimes depict spirit as the crow here. And you can see how like there's almost this swoosh, like spirit's like pushing, right? Pushing this knight further. You see, and in the recent past energy, especially when it came to reclaiming your power here, Gemini, I feel that spirit really just guided you. Okay. There was pushes, there was movement, there was alignment, especially when the Chariot is clarified by the Knight of Swords. I feel like some of that change could have happened really quickly. Like the ball got rolling and then all of a sudden it was just like rolling and changes were happening. Right. And maybe it was that claim within your power. Maybe it was when you really acknowledge that, wait a minute, I need to step into my power here. In order for changes and transformation to happen within my life, no matter what situation you were talking about, you acknowledge that there had to be this claim within that power of self. Okay. And I feel that you took that. I do feel that you stepped into that, especially when it's the Knight of Swords, because the Knight of Swords is about that forward movement. It's having that action step. It's being precise. Maybe you had to cut some shit out of your life. Oftentimes when the swords come up, especially the Knight of Swords, that's about acknowledging that there had to be things within your life that you had to cut away. Right? Especially if you were moving forward here, if you were opening yourself and reclaiming to reclaim power, to claim power here for self, we have to acknowledge that hierarchy of power goes self, creator, and others. And then we have to cut away things that are going to try to disrupt our hierarchy of power. We have to set boundaries, and things that come over and try to overstep our boundaries are things that we have to acknowledge we can't allow in our space. Okay, let's clarify this Seven of Cups and why this Seven of Cups is in the current energy. Can you clarify this Seven of Cups in the current energy? Thank you, Spirit. We have the Death and Rebirth and the Three of Wands. You see, there was this forward movement, Gemini, and as you reclaim your power, you look at all of these, especially in the current energy, because the Seven of Cups, you could see all these like little fish before her, right? So the Seven of Cups is where there's all of these opportunities before you. Now, not all of those opportunities are actually going to serve your soul. They're not all going to serve your soul a certain way. Some of them aren't going to do very much for them. Some of them maybe are going to drain your soul, right? And see, in the Seven of Cups in a current energy, when it's clarified by the Death and Rebirth and the Three of Wands, this is about choosing the cups in the past that are actually going to serve you. The Death and Rebirth is an important one here, because this is about shedding the skin, releasing yourself from the old so that you can go forward in the new day. Claiming your power, right? I love that the Three of Wands came out after that Death and Rebirth, because the Three of Wands is about, it comes after the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is that change in direction, but the Three of Wands is like where you acknowledge the change that you were going to make, and you chose the higher road. You chose the higher vibration within self, inside of self. You acknowledge that there were changes that you had to make, and then you chose the changes. You chose what was going to liberate you, right? You chose what was going to serve you. Right? See how that works? You see, and I do feel that this Death and Rebirth, this is not something that is to be just looked over, because the Death and Rebirth, that is a restructure, right? That is about acknowledging that there is change within your life. You see, and when in this current energy, I do feel like it's very much about choosing what is going to serve you. It's not about serving others. Certainly we must, certainly there is that space to certainly there is that space to really care for how you affect others, right? There is that need to do this, but this Seven of Cups in this current energy, Clarified by the Death and Rebirth and clarified by the Three of Wands is where you choose what is going to emotionally serve you. You see? You have to claim your power here, Gemini. You have to. Why is that Two of Wands in the immediate future? Why is the Two of Wands in the immediate future? Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Look at that. The change in direction here is where you, again, step into your power and stop allowing people to trespass against you. The Seven of Swords can sometimes be that, like, the illusion, the trickery, where people have maybe trespassed against us and taken our energy from us, right? Taken things. And see, the Seven of Wands, I love the Seven of Wands because you can see all the haters down here trying to spew their shit all over this girl. And she's just so connected to herself. She's connected here to her solar plexus, which is connected ultimately to the divine. She is connected here to the divine being she is. And this is the direction in which she is choosing to go. Okay, she's choosing to claim her power because the Seven of Wands is about stepping into your authenticity, claiming that power of self, claiming the power of the light that you have within you. Okay, acknowledging that just because you can't maybe see what in the shadows, right? This is about acknowledging that you have the power to go forward anyway. Okay, the choice to change the direction here is yours, right? And that's what you're stepping into, Gemini. If the overall energy here is the Panther spirit and about reclaiming your power, this is something that you must choose to do. Because the divine will give you opportunities to reclaim your power, but unless you take the action step to claim it, it will not be yours. Right? Right. How is this a challenge? Well, I think that actual claim to that power, I think that's what's challenging. Because the challenge here was the Fool, the Tower, and the Seven of Swords. Well, there's those damn illusions again, right? There's that damn energy of people trespassing against you, not being able to see clearly, right? Things being in the shadows still. Okay, so I get it. It's tough because I do feel, Gemini, that you want the clarity. You want the certainty that at the end of it, it's going, when you claim your power, that's just going to all the good things are going to work out here. But you're afraid to take that leap of faith. And you're afraid to allow the old structures to crumble here. And in order to reclaim your power, you have to be able to you got to be brave to accept both, right? The Fool is about taking that leap of faith into this new side of self. This new sense of, it's definitely can be speaking about your spirituality and taking that leap of faith into that new spiritual kind of being of self. But the Fool is about acknowledging that you've come from patterns in the past, you've come from growth. And here in this Fool energy, you are claiming self like you've never claimed self before, right? The Tower, you got to let the old structures go. And oftentimes those old structures, we like to keep them together because they're safe to us. We know what they are. Right? And the challenge here is to allow the Tower to happen. The challenge here is to allow that old structure just to fucking crumble because it's not serving you going forward. To claim your power here, you have to allow that old structure to crumble. Let's clarify the Fool though first. Why is the Fool a challenge here for the Geminis? Thank you. The Hermit. Clarified by the Hermit. Yep, look at that. Gem, sometimes I feel that it is very hard for you guys to find this peace within inside of self. To allow yourself the quietness, just to hear what the divine and what your inner voice is saying, And that can definitely, maybe it's really hard for you right now because there's just a lot going on. Maybe this Chariot and this Knight of Swords, there was a lot of action going on, right? There's a lot of chaos happening on the outside here. And maybe the challenge here is just to listen to self to see what way do you want to begin? What is the new beginning that you want to take? Just because the Fool's here doesn't mean you have to take it the same anybody else does. No, see, this new beginning, this leap of faith is, well, what is the leap of faith that's going to serve you? You're not transitioning into a new phase of what others want you to be. You're transitioning into a phase of who you are meant to be, who you are divinely feeling guided to be, who you want to be. Like, this isn't an anybody else problem, Gemini. This is a who do you want to be, Gem? Okay? What does that reflect? Figure that out. Sometimes it's hard to listen to ourselves, right? Why is this Tower challenging the Gemini? Clarified by the Hierophant. Yeah, look at that. This Tower here is the old structures. And maybe for some of you, maybe for some of you it's relationships. I mean, the Hierophant can definitely be talking about higher committed kind of relationships. So maybe for some of you, it's marriages or something that are crumbling here, you know, and in order for you to really reclaim your power here, you acknowledge that whatever old relationship or whatever that may be, that's not going to serve you going forward here. And that's only going to fit for a few of you. I do feel that the Hierophant clarifying this Tower energy, especially as a challenge, the Hierophant is where I see it much more differently now, because I do see that Hierophant as claiming it's that hierarchy of power again, claiming that hierarchy of power of self, acknowledging that we have to serve self, creator, others, right? Acknowledging that choice to serve divine will, that's something that we must choose. To serve others, that's something we must choose. But we must fulfill self first. Okay, we must choose self. We must, and that's not a selfish thing to do, Gemini. In order to be able to give to others, you must be fulfilled with inside of self. Okay, you can't give from empty cups. I don't know how many times we say that. You see, in the structure here is what's challenging here is those old structures. And I think for a lot of you, there's been that giving, because that's just I need to do that. You know, and through that kind of way of giving, there's resentment that is built from that, because we are giving not because we are choosing to, we're giving because we feel obligated to. You see, and there's an old structure here, there's old patterns here that need to come down, because you are being asked to build new structures that serve this higher level of self, right? Asked to weed through the illusions, okay? Allow the old structures to fall and all that dust to settle so that you can actually see the truth. Why is the Seven of Swords challenging the Geminis? Standing with inside of self. Okay? That Seven of Swords, that's about, you know, that's this kind of energy. Right? Where there's that energy where people have trespassed against you in the past, where people have continued to take from you, right? And here it's about putting yourself first, and that's going to be a tough one, especially when the Knight of Wands clarifies that Seven of Wands, because it's about embracing again that level of power, that level of passion for self, beating your own drum, okay, dancing to your own beat. It is going to be a challenge to step out of the shadows and have faith that there is more beyond just the illusions that you are seeing right now. Okay, that not everything in those shadows are going to be a challenge. Not everything is going to be scary. Yes, it's going to be hard to continue to show up to yourself authentically. It's going to be a challenge that even when people are still trying to trespass against you, or even when things maybe when there isn't truth being told, whatever the case may be, it is going to be hard to still show up to that true authentic self, to not fall back into old patterns. Yep, absolutely. Okay? But claiming that power of self, claiming that, you know, speaking truth as my throat chakra closes here. Claim your power to speak what it is you want. Claim your power to show up to who you are, who you want to be here, Gemini. Okay, the reasons for this, you have the Three of Cups, the Messenger of Earth, and the Empress. Again, for some of you, it can be new relationships. But this Three of Cups, there's a difference in how you have grown relationships in the past. And the Three of Cups is about fellowship, connection. It certainly can be talking about romantic relationships, and not necessarily just, you know, surface level romantic relationships. Like a romantic relationship on the Three of Cups is something that not only has that intimacy kind of connection and that emotional connection, but that spiritual connection. See, and that's why that Three of Cups certainly doesn't need to just be romantic connections. It can be soul tribes. It can be groups of friends, people who are supporting you here. But see, this is how you are going forward, connecting on a different level to people. Okay? It's a slow and steady process here. But especially when this Empress energy is what you're embracing. The Empress is all about manifesting, connecting to that divine feminine energy of self, but going forward here on a new level than you've gone in before. Yep, look at that. Three of Cups clarified by the Fool. You know, this is a new way for you to actually connect to other individuals, to other souls. This is a new, you are taking the leap of faith because you're connecting here on a deeper level than you've connected in the past. You see, and I feel that's where this power is coming from, because you're allowing yourself, Gemini, to actually be more vulnerable, to take that leap of faith, right? You're allowing yourself to claim power in giving more than you've given in the past. There's great power that comes with being vulnerable. There's great power that comes with, you know, connecting to people on a spiritual level. Messenger of Earth is clarified by the Page of Wands. Yeah. You know, and the Messenger of Earth is putting one foot in front of the other, acknowledging that, yes, you are in a new phase, you are learning new things, you're taking forward movement, and it's not going to be a fast thing. It's slow and steady wins the race here. It's learning the lessons, but it's showing up with dedication. And the Page of Wands, I love the Page of Wands, because the Page of Wands is about acknowledging that you are not repeating the cycles of the past. You're going forward here, Gemini, changing. That's why all this transformation is here. That's why this power of self, this reclaiming of power of self is so important here, because you are throwing away the cycles of the past. That's why those structures are coming down. Right? You're choosing the new beginnings. You're choosing what is authentically going to serve you, what inspires you, what opens you up, what excites you. Is this Empress energy here? Yeah. You see, because where you felt disconnected in the past, that is why this energy is so important. That is why this claim to your power is so important, especially with this Empress energy here as a reason. Because you have, in the past, Gemini, you haven't connected to, you haven't taken the time, I feel, to listen to what it is that your soul has truly wanted, right? You've listened to almost everything else other than self. And here, this is where that power stems greatly from listening to your intuition. Okay, that power has to be where your action steps are actually that of what your intuition and intuitive guidance is telling you to do. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So we're going to finish up here with some Moonology messages. A message to go forward here for the Geminis. There's a message here going forward for the Gemini's spirit. A message going forward here for the Geminis. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. A time for healing, the balsamic moon. A new start is coming, absolutely, the new moon. Prosperity lies ahead, the new moon in Taurus. A win-win outcome is forecast, the full moon in Libra. And a personal issue reaches resolution, a full moon in Cancer. Well, Geminis, that was an absolutely beautiful reading. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.